Crafty. It's it's not the
What up, guys? What up, guys? We're about to go live. Just give me a couple more minutes. I'm just fixing something that randomly happened. Like always. This is what happens when it's live. Things always like this happen, so give me a sec. I'll be there in a minute.
As a director of finance, I'm managing 15 and 20 a month. With Acrobat AI Assistant, I can summarize long contracts and identify key. AI Assistant helps me compare 2 different versions of the same document for key changes. It makes me feel very confident that nothing's missing and everything's accurate.
This is what happens when you don't pay for YouTube
We're able to
Premium.
focus on what really matters.
You have ads.
Growing our business and finding
Yo, what's up, guys? How's it been going? It's been a long time. I still can't believe it. I'm doing this. My heart's pounding once again because, like you guys know, the ones that were here from season one, I do not like the camera. Never been my thing. Not a fan of it. But you have to throw yourself and you have to continue doing things that you started because you can't start something and not end it. So I'm very happy to be back. This year was this last year was very interesting. A lot of events, a lot of things that kept me, from continuing this. It was getting a little bit overwhelming just because I had so many things moving around, so many moving pieces, and I'm just really excited to be back. Again, sorry and thank you for being patient with me. Since I switched to YouTube, there's a lot of things that I'm still trying to get a hold of, and since I got busy out of nowhere, it was a little bit, you guys already could tell I'm not on time. But it won't happen again, I promise you guys that. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Lights, Camera, Accion, season number 2, episode number 1. And I'm going to change it up a little bit. And before we introduce my guest of honor for today, I want to talk to you guys about somebody that I met about a year or so ago at an event that was hosted by Andres Ramirez. And this gentleman approached me and he, started talking to me and told me that he was following somewhat of my journey. And hold on, how do I look? I look skinny? By the way, I'm losing hair. Anyways, he was following my journey for some time, and I didn't even know. And slowly but surely, we started becoming friends. And he is somebody that I've started to, build a good relationship with, and somebody that I know could handle something like this because he also has his own projects. He also is a volunteer at Voces Latinas, 16 AM. I think it's every Wednesday with ¿Cómo se llama? Don't tell me his name. What's his name? I forgot his name. What's his name again? William Dinero. My apologies. Sorry, my brain's going all over the place because I am also controlling everything on my end, and I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. My heart's like literally pounding. I don't really drink anymore, so I don't have a little shot to calm my nerves and stuff. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you guys someone that I decided to add onto the show to add a little bit more depth, to add a little bit more. Besides depth, just add more of a spice or just like a different taste in things. And again, you guys can hear it in my voice. I'm literally like this. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my buddy Mario Funes. How are you, sir?
Yes. Dímelo. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here, my bro. It's an honor. Once again, my name is Mario Funes. I am also going by DJ Revelations. Like he mentioned, I also do work with Latin Beats TO with William Dinero at CHHA 16 AM. So yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this, man.
No problem, brother. No problem. So before we introduce my lovely friend of mine, just let the viewer know a little bit about you, where you come from, how long you've been doing this for. I think you're also a DJ as well. So just let the viewers know.
All right, thank you. Actually, yeah, so when you and I met, I'm going to start there, man. When I met you, man, it was at an event with Andres Ramirez, right? It was actually a mental health event, and it was really cool. I usually don't put myself out there like that, but I remember, I think this was after I met you, right? We did an event with P, and that's where I saw you. You came and you set up everything for the event, so it was really cool. And then running into you again was a blessing. We hit it off. We started talking about things. We found a lot of things that we had in common, right? So I've been DJing for a little while as well, and I also do my own podcast, Revelations Podcast, if you want to follow me there on YouTube as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Do a lot of content creation, reaction videos, stuff like that. That's who I is.
That's awesome. Where are you from again?
I am Salvadoran and Mexican, born in El Salvador, though. For a lot of you that, I was not born here. I actually got the immigrant stamp over here. Yeah, but one day you'll see it. I'll show it to y'all.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, man, thank you again for joining this journey of mine. Not only is Mario someone that I'm gonna have here on the show, but he's also somebody that has helped me get closer to God. I've actually started going to Bible study with him. It's been for a couple of months now, and it's been awesome, and I'm grateful to have him here, and have his taste in things and all that good stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this person that I'm going to introduce right now is someone that I've known, I think, if I'm not mistaken, since I was 7 or 8 years old. Somebody that I met at the Plaza Latina. Small world, and his parents opened up a business there. And since then, I'm 36 now. I think he's 35, going to 36 in May 1st. We literally went through so many things. We got into the music industry together through my father, and we have amazing stories. Some good ones, some bad ones, happy moments, sad moments. We won a lot, we lost a lot, and like I made on my post on my story, like every friendship, we have our ups and downs, we have our disagreements, but the most important thing is obviously communicating to each other, and sitting down and talking, and we've gone through this just like many of you that are watching. And I have a little something that I typed out for him that I want to just say before I introduce him. So if you guys could bear with me, give me 1 second. So ladies and gentlemen, Nicolas Panart is a powerhouse DJ, MC, and event producer, one of Canada's most in-demand voices behind the mic and behind the decks. A part Argentinian Latino with a powerful voice and nonstop energy, he brings the stage to life with his presence, his dance moves, and just the instincts of a true entertainer. Beyond the spotlight, he's a business owner, a devoted father, a brother, an uncle, and that kind of friend that's been solid since childhood. I feel like I'm going to start crying, but I'm going to keep going. We've been tight since we were 7, 8 years old, and now we have our age, and, we're getting old. I'm losing my hair. He already decided to shave it off, and the bond that we have is more than just a friendship. He's become someone that I love. He's a brother of mine, someone that I'll do anything for, and Nicolas doesn't just move crowds, he connects them. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my best friend, my buddy, Mr. Nicolas Alexis Panart.
Damn, bro.
How are you?
My full government name? Are you crazy?
I just forgot the second last
Damn,
name.
I'm not going to tell you the second last name because that's fully government, man. What's up, Jona?
How are you?
You good, brother?
Yeah, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Season 2 is very hard, brother.
Yeah,
So I'm actually happy that you took the step because, like you said, you want to finish what you started. And everybody always starts, but nobody finishes. So congratulations on Season 2. Congratulations on finding a partner to do it with because it's not easy doing it by yourself because, like Jona said, he's talking, he's asking questions, he's looking at screens, he's clicking, he's typing. So he's doing all this by himself. So it's good that you have a co-host with you to kind of, take the journey on a little ride and so people can talk to multiple opinions and you guys can have different opinions and, talk differently and share their stuff. So congratulations on Lights, Camera, Accion.
Thank you, sir. Season number 2. And again, something that I started in the first season. I just want to break the what do you call it?
The ice.
Break the ice, right? So I'm going to ask you some questions, some rapid-fire questions, and I want you just the first thing that pops to mind, just, answer away. So the first question, what dish do you cook the best?
Asado.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes.
Have you ever won a contest?
Yes.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Salsa or bachata?
Salsa.
Fresh food or fried food?
Fried food.
What is your weirdest? What is the weirdest thing that your pet does?
Licks his butt.
What motivates you the most?
Everybody around me.
Okay, awesome. What is the kindest thing someone has ever said to you?
Actually, just last night, some random, last night, Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, some random guy, I don't even know his name, but when just people say hi to you thinking that you've known them forever, he came up to me and he's like, yo, Nico P, I just want to let you know that I've been around this industry for a long time, and you might not know me, but I appreciate everything that you do and everything that you've done for the community, and I want you to keep going because you're the best that's ever. You're the best guy that's ever done it, best guy I've ever seen do it. So I don't want you to stop representing the Latinos in Toronto and Canada, and I want you to keep going forward. So it's stuff like that people that you've never had 2 words of an exchange come and say that stuff to you. That's what motivates me to keep going.
Amazing, amazing. So, what's one secret that no one knows about you?
I have hair.
Where?
On my chest.
Okay, nice.
One secret. I guess one secret. You kind of let it out in the bio. I am a father. I haven't really kind of like put it out there, but most people that do know me or are close to me, I am a father of a 3-year-old beautiful son, my boy Lorenzo Lolo, which has been a huge blessing in my life. So now that kind of, he's born and he's kind of growing now. So I bump into a lot of people on my days with him. So people are shocked. So every time he gets bigger and bigger and people are like, you had a son? And I'm like, yeah, I've had a son for a while now. So I guess that's my little secret that, we'll put it out there now on the episode.
Awesome, awesome. Do you have any rapid fire questions off the top of your head you want to ask me?
Um, what has changed in the last year for you mentally?
Damn, that's
One word.
faith.
You prefer to walk or run?
Before walk, now I'd rather run,
Would you rather fly or train?
fly.
Would you rather classical music or jazz music?
Jazz.
Would you rather a jugo from your mom or a nice ice cold Coca-Cola Mexican bottle?
I don't even know why you're asking that.
I know, because I know you're gonna say the Mexican Coke.
Yeah. Anyways, hold on 1 second. Okay, Nico. So I'm gonna start again, just a little asking you simple questions. If you don't mind, for those that don't know you, just let them know a little bit about Nicolas Panart, and where you come from, whether you were born here, how old you are, stuff like that.
All right. So, for those that don't know me, I am Nico P, also known as Nicolas Panart, which is my actual government name. Nico P is my, I guess you can call it stage name or alias, as please. I am Canadian. Okay, let's clarify this because a lot of people think that I'm Uruguayan. I am Canadian. My parents are Argentinian. I played soccer for Club Uruguay. I grew up with them many years, so that's why a lot of people think that I'm Uruguayan. So I have a full-time job. I work Monday to Saturday. Sundays are my day off. I also do entertainment. I would call myself a nightlife entrepreneur. I am a co-owner of a company called I Love That Party. My co-partner is DJ Mechon. You can follow us on Instagram. Shameless plug right there. I Love That Party. So we do that at nights, and then as well as I do have other companies that obviously you technically have seen probably in the past, which is the live streams that we used to do with Oye Latinos. I also own that with Jonathan Quintero. We are the owners of Oye Latinos, which has been through a lot through the 4 years, but we're still alive. We're still kicking, and we're still doing a lot of live streams. And like I said, if you're interested in ever doing any type of live stream, or you're looking for a place that isn't super expensive, hey, send us a message. We'll make it work for you. Me and Jona know how to work around the behind the cameras and do all this stuff. So just come up, and yeah. Did I miss anything there?
I think so. I think everything's okay for now. For now, because I know you have other stuff. But
Yeah.
one question I forgot to ask you: who is your best boss? Because I know you have two.
Who is my best boss? That's a good one.
Because I know one of them is watching.
To be honest, my best boss, I would say, is my sister.
Shout out to Soleil.
There's a bond that we have that is unbreakable, ride or die. I know some siblings might have brothers and sisters and they might not feel the same, but my sister is like my best friend. She literally, she will fight, she will scream, she'll laugh, she'll cry, she'll do it all. So the brother and sisterhood that we have together is unbreakable, and I love her very much. So I'm happy to be running the family business with her.
Awesome. So yeah, shout out to Sole. She was also like an older sister to me, and I did have her last year on season 1, and I'm gonna definitely have her back on again for season 2. And I had some people that were messaging me if I was gonna upload the videos from last year, and I think last year we did 28 episodes, and I know I haven't uploaded them on Twitch or whatever, but since since I switched to YouTube, I might just put everything on there. But Mario has he has a question that he wants to ask you, just so we could start.
Yeah, let's do this.
The show. But before he talks, do you have a question that you want to ask me?
Are you ready?
I'm not ready. I'm never ready, but I always figure it out.
All right, let's do this.
All right, Mr. Mario. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead.
Under the lights.
Yeah, man. No, I just just remembering I was talking with Jona, and I was remembering the unique situation on how we met.
Mm-hmm.
We actually met in Mexico.
Yeah.
We met for a friend's birthday. Wedding.
Wedding.
And I remember I wanted to come up to you and Mechon while we were eating, but man, I was so hungover that morning. we were all like there to eat breakfast, and I'm just like, oh man, I couldn't even look at the pineapple that was in front of me, man. Like I was just out of it. But you guys really, you really delivered. I got to see what that was like, and that actually really inspired me to want to get into doing weddings.
Amazing,
as a
man.
DJ.
I love that.
Right, and so after that, like, I actually really took a lot from you in regards to not being shy on the mic, and it's been a real inspiration. You know what I mean? Seeing you how you do your thing, right? So, like I said, I didn't want to start like an interrogation. I want to let
No
the audience know how we actually met and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But yeah, just just a couple little things. As a DJ, I think we're all here have in common that we're DJs,
Yes.
and there's a lot of up and coming DJs as well that could be watching us right now.
100%.
People that are trying to do anything, content creation, they need to be in front of a mic or stuff like that. And a lot of people think that it's easy, right? They think that it's something that you just go in there and just do, right? Some people have the natural nick for it.
Yeah.
Some people actually have to work on it. They have to study other people and get to that point. And mental health is something that a lot of people don't really address when it comes to this, because they think it's just the party. But when the party's over, like, what do you do?
Yeah.
When you go home, people don't realize how much of yourself you give,
Mm-hmm.
right, to this space, right, where there's people that just expect you to do something to keep them entertained,
Correct.
right? So in regards to that, like, do you ever feel torn between who people expect you to be and who you actually are?
That's actually a sick question because the last couple of years, there's been times where you feel torn. You do feel torn because you're hired for this. One of the biggest, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but one of the biggest, I guess, issues as an entertainer is being booked in advance. And one thing that, for example, that I've learned about myself, I try not to book myself so far in advance, because some people have their mindset that in 3 years they're gonna get married, but I also tell them that in 3 years I don't know where I'm gonna be, so I can't tell you yes.
Right.
And that goes for everything. That goes for physical. That goes for mental. That goes for anything surrounding that. What's gonna happen in 3 years? I'm not saying I don't look at the future, because I do look at the future, but 3 years is a long time away.
Yeah, a lot can happen in that time.
Exactly, right? So I try to do the yearly thing. But yeah, no, there's days where you're paid to show up, and that's why I say, like, the people that know me are my friends. I'm Nicholas, but to the people outside and the people, that persona that I created, I'm Nico P. So they hire the Nico P. They want the Nico P. They want that energy. They want that charisma. They want that dancing, like that Jona said, and it, because you built it, or because I've built it, or anybody that's gonna build their persona, you have to do the job, to the best of your abilities. Sometimes it might not come out 100%, but if you work on your craft, with, like I have after so many years, and again, I'm not gonna say when or where has it been less than 100%, but in my head I always give it 100%. Some people, might not believe it was 100%, because some people say they might think it was 150, right? So it does take a toll on you. It is hard to balance, because, like I said, like, for example, I'm a Taurus, so I'm an emotional person, right? And sometimes I don't want to go to a gig, or something happened to me the day before, or I got into an argument with Jona, and that just threw me off and threw off the whole day. But now I got to put on a suit, I got to get a haircut, I got to go MC in front of 200, 300 people, and I have to act vibrant. When this is literally at the back of my head, pissing me off, or whatever the case is. So, yeah, it's definitely a tear apart situation there.
Have you ever gone through a breakup and then you had to go and perform?
Oh, 100%. Many times. Love in my life is crazy, brother. I loved everybody in my life. I love my friends. I love my family, my ex-girlfriends, my girlfriend. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy being in this industry. It's not easy, like, I wouldn't call it preparing a relationship, but I would say, like, in the whole justing of dating, and, like, talking to somebody, for them to understand and for them to accept what you do. That's one of the philosophies that I think that is very important when it comes to relationships, that you need to be able to understand, and you need to be able to accept. If you can do both, I think you can move forward. But if it's only one no and one yes, it makes it a little bit difficult sometimes in certain scenarios, when it comes to understanding each other.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Brother Jona, do you relate to this?
150,000%. It's let me change the camera here. Sorry. Yeah, it's exactly what he said. It's not easy. It's not for everybody. But I think that the reason why me and Nico have been doing this for so long, and the reason why we're still doing it, is because we've been doing this for many years, and we've gone through many trials and tribulations. And we again, the music industry is not for everybody, right? And there's many reasons why, and we can go and talk about it now. But I guess I could slowly segue, feeding off of piggyback off what you guys were saying, and talk about a little bit how me and Nico, got into the music. Nico has been dancing how long? Since you were pretty much
Yeah, my mom made me start dancing since I was like 3 or 4.
with candombe, no?
Well, yeah, I was doing candombe, but then my mom, I used to dance with somebody called Martin Samuels, rest in peace. He was a teacher, and they used to do Saturday class at Falstaff. If you know Falstaff Community Center, Saturdays was he used to teach salsa, merengue, bachata, reggaeton, hip hop, ballet. He used to teach all this stuff. And there was a bunch of us, and my mom wanted me to dance, and she signed me up to this group. So I was dancing since I was 4. And my mom, after kind of got some kids together that I was growing up with, which shout out to the twins and shout out to Josue, and then we made a group called Meren Kids. And we were dancing. My mom, wherever my mom could plug us in, we were dancing. It could have been Hispanic Fiesta, it could have been a small show, it could have been a birthday. Whatever my mom can get her hands on, she was making us dance. Yeah, child labor.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I still haven't gotten paid from working all those years at La Fuente del Puro Sabor
There you go.
at the plaza. But anyways, like I was saying, to segue, talking about the music, since we're all DJs and something that we all have in common. My father, for those that don't know, started doing the whole DJing and event producing and everything from a very young age. And that's how I got involved. I started doing this when I was 8 years old. And I think my first professional gig was at 10. The first time I actually did a gig. And Nico as well. I don't remember how exactly it happened, but long story short, he just started showing up with my dad and myself. And we've gone on from there. And it's crazy because I was having a conversation with Nico these last week and the week before that. For those that know me and those that have been watching me from the very beginning of the show, I've changed a lot, not just physically but mentally, and I decided, number one, just surrender to God, because it's I was going through a lot of stuff, and for many years, and I was and this all ties into how sometimes the music industry is very difficult to be in. It's very draining in different ways, and I decided about 2.5, almost 3 years ago, to start making the change. You know what I mean? Stop with the drinking, and again, I have no problem being 100% transparent. Constantly, since we were younger, you know what I mean? We were put in situations or more in rooms and around crowds and stuff, that we saw things and we heard things that we shouldn't be hearing or seeing at a young age. And I believe that, when you're around specific things for too long, it slowly starts to hardwire you in different ways. And, I always told myself that I did not want to do this, and I did not want to feel like this and this and that. And this is me, through my adolescence, when I was young and stuff. And long and behold, I was literally turning into the person that I told myself I did not want to become. The constant drinking every weekend, and it's not that I was getting wasted. You know what I mean? It was more, shot here, something that happens, right? When we're DJs or when we're the MCs and we have family or guests that are at these events, they obviously come and give us a drink, and we don't have a problem with that. But doing this every weekend and for so many years and from a very young age, it takes a toll on you, and again, the 2.5, almost 3 years ago, I was not doing well. I was 267 pounds. 267 pounds.
Whoa.
I was,
You
again,
look great though.
drinking. Thank you. I was, again, drinking constantly on the weekends, drinking and driving. I was messing around, sleeping around like if nothing, like it didn't matter. I was not eating well. You know what I mean? I was eating junk food. I was just not eating well. For my friends that are watching, I remember after Brisas, we would all go to Camisos and eat, and then go home and sleep. And it was really messing with me. And it was taking a toll on me, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore, and that's when I got closer to God and everything. And there's particular people that slowly, without even knowing, started guiding me through that toward that direction. And again, like I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, I look very different. I think I'm at 203 or 204 the last time that I weighed myself, and
Hey, congratulations on that.
thank you. It's hard. I literally just finished a 3-day water fast while being in prayer today at 2:30 in the morning. I started, I think it was Friday at 2:30 in the morning, and this is the second time I've done it. And obviously, there's a lot of benefits from doing fasting and stuff, not just physically, but obviously spiritually and mentally and stuff. And I also did it because, again, just to be transparent, this last month, and I kind of mentioned it to Nico and to Mario, this last month was very difficult for me in many different reasons. I had 2 funerals to go to. One of them was a very close friend of mine. And, going to funerals and viewings and stuff and seeing how families, grieve and everything, it puts things in perspective. And that's another reason why I'm like, you know what? Not only do I want to have a clear mind when I do the show again, because this is a lot to do. You know what I mean? And one thing that, again, even talking to Nico and even other people that have been on the show or just people that have watched, they've always told me, Jona, why don't you sit beside the guest? You know what I mean? And it's like, I understand, but it's like, I want to do what I do. For those that, again, don't know, and like Nico mentioned, I'm also one of the owners of Oil Latinos. I'm the one that does all the posting online and everything. But during the pandemic, I was pretty much the director of the live
show.
of the live of the live podcast that we used to do here at the office. And my job would be obviously, again, the camera angles, make sure the audio is good, get the ads ready, prepare Nico to do the commercials for the sponsors that we had. And I forgot where I was going with this. What was I talking about? Sorry. I really forgot.
Just talking about the fact that you've been working towards on yourself, your mental health, the way that you were brought up, the environment that you grew up in, wasn't the healthiest.
Yeah. So going back to all that stuff, like it's this last month again, it was very difficult, because again, losing people that you've known for many years and or seeing your friends grieve and stuff, it just puts things in perspective. And not even just that, I was getting pulled in different directions, and that was another reason why, I'm like, let me just do the show, because again, for those that know me, I've never been the person who likes cameras. I don't like this. I don't like the attention. I don't like talking on microphones. Nico's known this forever. Nico's been telling me since we were kids, bro, talk, and I just don't like it. But again, I do believe that sometimes you need to throw yourself in the fire. You know what I mean? And like, even for example, me doing the fasting, right? The first fast I did was this past Christmas. I ended at 7 p.m. on Christmas Day on purpose, just, to honor God and everything. Jesus and everything. And I purposely, again, some people when they're fasting, with water and stuff, you don't want to be around food. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be around your family members. I was alone, those last 3 days before Christmas, literally in my room alone, whether watching a show or just praying or whatever. And I was getting hungry at one point, and I just told myself, you know what? How could I fix this? How could I deal with this? So I literally just started texting friends. I'm like, yo, what are you eating? What are you eating? And my friends were like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, nothing. Just tell me what you're eating. Send me a picture so I could just fight it, throw myself in the fire. And this is how, again, I did the show, literally before we went live right now with the cameras and stuff. Again, you could ask the guys. I'm like, oh, it's happening again. It's happening again.
Shivers.
And like right now, again, you guys can't tell, but I'm hot. My heart's pounding.
We get it, Jonah. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. But it's something that we need to do, and I believe that the older we get, we have to stop these habits, these cycles, and we have to work on ourselves to heal whatever trauma that we have. And that's pretty much. I think that's all I have to say for now for that.
All right, Jonah, segment part 1.
Yes, sir. That was great, man. And you know what? Just in regards to that as well, like being in that industry, it's very high energy all the time.
Yeah.
In an industry that runs late nights and constant stimulation, how do you recognize when you're running on empty? Like, do you ever, what's the longest vacation you've ever been able to take?
Never.
Oh, man. And how does that feel, man?
We've been on vacation, but you saw me still working.
That was working.
Still entertaining, still being that guy that I was hired to do, something that we work, that I try to do very, like a lot of trips that I go on when I'm booked as a destination wedding DJ. I try to give them the bang for buck. So I try to work every day, try to entertain every day. But answering your question is, life, man. Life just tells you enough. It could be a heavy sickness. It could be a week in the bed. It could be, anything that your body is telling you, you need to chill. That's exactly how I respond to that question, because it's true. Like I'm rare to get sick. Like I'm super rare to get sick. I maybe get sick once a year. But when I do get sick, I get really sick. But sometimes I have those moments where you do feel like your gas tank is empty, and you just feel like you might come down with a little something small, but it's like, okay, let's chill. Maybe this weekend, yes, I still got to do the same thing, but let's just take it down a notch. You know what I mean? Maybe not go so heavy and stuff like that.
All right. In regards to that, how do you deal with stress when you can't just turn it off because people rely on you? Like, how do you?
To be honest, it's just part of life, man. I don't know if I deal with it properly. I might intertwine it with my own life, in terms of like the persona and my regular life, which is, again, it's easy to separate, but then it's also hard to separate. And the reason being because, like, depending on who you are, as well as like me, like I've learned that over the years too. Like I always wanted to say like, oh, I'm two different people, but everybody knows that I'm straight. Like I tell people the way it is. My attitude's the same. So my attitude doesn't change from Nico P to Nicholas. Like it's the same attitude. Like I'm still gonna give you the same. You know what I mean? So I've learned that over situations in my life, and like the difficult times that I've had, maybe in the last 5 years, of understanding myself in terms of like I might be a persona, but also like my emotions and my feelings, they're the same person. They don't change for anybody. Like I don't act differently. Like if I didn't like that person as Nico P, I don't like him as Nicholas. You know what I mean? It's not like a double figurative person. It's just the name itself is like, when I do put all that energy and all that not the acting, but like all that stuff like into my work, that's Nico P. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not gonna go to sleep and bueno, señora, vamos. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sleep like that. But when it comes to work and stuff, I'm putting that persona on and giving it the 100%.
Got you. Thank you. Honestly, that
Yeah, man.
people need to hear.
Oh, for sure. Trust me. The first thing that I do when I'm done at the club is get into my car and puro silencio, silence, brother.
Honestly,
I do not want to hear a thing of music. Do not turn the music on, because I just enjoy listening to the wind, cracking the window a bit. I mean, now it's a little bit cold, but still, I still do it. It's just peace, man. You just gotta find your peace,
On your own time, do you find yourself listening to music, or do you do everything else but music?
My life includes music. I love music. I could be listening to music all day. The only thing that it does get a little bit crossover is, like, for example, I try to kind of balance my music knowledge or intake, because I do a weekly party. So
Right.
I am listening to, for example, like I'm listening to Bad Bunny every weekend. I'm listening to Raúl Alejandro every weekend. You know what I mean? So I try to kind of like during the week, because I do love music, and obviously as a DJ, you gotta be in
course.
tune with yourself. You gotta be up to date and stuff like that. So I try to find other genres to kind of like please the ear. So for example, like that question for Jona, classical jazz, is because we used to listen to classical music going home, like, because you hear house music, ba ba ba, reggaeton, boom, ba boom, ba boom, and then your brain is just like, it's just pulsing, and then we would literally sit in the car, and we would just jazz music or classical at like maybe like 12. Like the old vans used to have the digital thing, and the max was 20.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like at 12, and just nice ride home, chill. You know what I mean? And actually, I learned that a lot from Jona as well, because like I said, like you have to stimulate your mind. You can't go like on 100. You know what I mean? And I do give credit to Jona for that over the years, because like I said, I've learned a lot from Jona and his father. You have to train your mind and your body, because people ask me a lot, like, bro, how do you do this every week? And I now, because I'm older, I can answer them like, if I didn't do this every weekend, I'd be destroyed. Like I would be destroyed. But because my body and my brain know what we need to do, it's like we get up and do it.
You have a schedule, like a routine.
Almost, yeah. It's almost like a routine. Like my body knows that I'm gonna go out every Saturday night and I'm gonna come home at 4 a.m. You know what I mean? But if I were to stop that, for example, if I were to stop that for a month or two, you know how hard it would be to get it back into routine at 35. You know what I mean? Like it's nuts, and that's what I'm saying. And I understand the people that you have conversations with your friends and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, I'm in bed by 9, and I'm like, how are you in bed by 9? You know what I mean? Like that's impossible for me. I can do it, but I choose not to do it. But I also have a different lifestyle, different schedule, like you're talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a very good. Thank you for those insights.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you that I've always wanted to ask, like somebody who does this for a living.
Yeah.
Right. It's what's one unhealthy habit this industry normalizes that you've had to be intentional about pushing back against?
Eating and drinking.
Oof.
Eating and drinking. It's like Jona says. It sounds easy, but you don't realize how much you're drinking. And it just becomes a natural act. And the reason why I say natural act is because, for example, I try to do it on weekends now, where I try not to take a sip of alcohol and just have a water bottle in my hand. But the thing is, because I play kind of like a different position in terms of the parties that we throw now with Mechon, because we are the ones throwing the party, we're the ones booking the booths and talking to the birthdays and all these people that come around and they directly talk to you in order to come to the club. They want to give the nice gesture of like, I want to give you a shot. Thank you for getting me in. Let's go get a shot. Or can I buy you a drink? So sometimes as the person receiving it, you don't want to say no because you feel disrespectful. But then sometimes you just gotta have to say no, or you have to, tell them like, I'm not drinking this weekend, I'm trying to keep it clean, blah, 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 blah. But over the years, you don't realize, because you're growing from an adolescent into an adult, and then you're fading out to become older. So in those years of like prime, I'm telling you, like when you turn 19, you're not thinking about this 10, 15 years down the road. You know what I mean? So every drink that I came across as a promoter from when I was 19, that was money for me. That was free money. Like I was getting drunk for free.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know what I mean? So coming into these years now, like the 30 to 35, it's natural. Like even when you go to when you go to work and you just know where everything is, and it's like you do the same steps without even knowing. That's how it feels sometimes to go to the club. The bartenders know your drink. So you give them a certain look when you're walking up to the bar. The bartender's already telling me like, "Hey, you want your drink?" So it's like, it's just natural. So it's hard to control that. And as well as, like I said, like those people coming up to you and offering you drinks and stuff like that, it's part of the game, you know what I mean? So sometimes you got to take some shots, sometimes you got to say no, depending on the person, but it is difficult to manage.
Yeah, and you know what? We've seen a lot of that in different scenes, like Avicii, for example. Avicii, it completely consumed him. Unfortunately, 100%. Rest in peace. He's such an amazing producer, DJ, but that lifestyle, like. I guess he didn't have people around him like a support system. And would you say you have that? Do you have a support system that tells you, "Hey, Nico, like slow down, man"?
I think that I think everybody has a support system. I don't think anybody can say that they don't. They just don't know where it is. Reason being is because, like you said, like people like Avicii, because it also like it's everywhere in your life. Like for example, I don't consider myself famous. I tell people I'm not famous. I worked to where I am, and I'm proud of the work that I've done. I just know a lot of people, but I know a lot of people because of the situations that I put myself in. For example, starting young with Jona and his dad, I'm seeing quinces and weddings at the age of 14. You know what I mean? I was always the popular kid at school. I was dating another girl from another school. So I was popular in my school. Then I knew half of St. Basil's. Then at another school, we would play soccer. I would know all of them. You know what I mean? So over the years, you just get to know more and more and more. And relating to everything is like how drinking and like Jona said, like I don't want to. We're just programmed in a way where innocently we were put in that situation, and growing up we thought it was okay. You know what I mean? And it was okay because we wanted to get to that point. We wanted to be legal. Like me and Jona didn't have to wait for that. Me and Jona were having beers at 17 and dad was cool with it. You know what I mean? Where I'm sure that a lot of my friends were having drinks and stuff because their parents were okay with it. You know, and I'm not shaming or blaming our surroundings or the people, like, but it was okay, right? And it's like Jonah says, silently in your head, you're becoming that person, and it's until you stop it, until Jonah said, damn, like, like this and that. I don't think I'm at a point in my life where I think it's destroying me, because I think I have pretty good control of it. And there's nothing emotional or something in my life that's happened that has made me go that way, because I could easily go that way. For example,
Right.
like nightlife, we're not only talking about liquor here, we're talking about drugs. I could easily go to the every day on the weekend and go, do a line or do MDMA or ecstasy, and then like that high, and that's what I'm saying. And then once it starts going one day, I'm gonna be like, maybe by Tuesday, I'm gonna be like, fuck, I really want to get to that high again, and then that's when that starts. But it all starts up here, and that's what I'm saying. Like things like Avicii, like I'm sure that he was having problems internally that he wasn't voicing, which is hard, and that's where the whole mental health thing comes in, because, like I said, I think everybody has a place of help, but it's literally telling people, like, I need help, or I'm scared of this, or this is happening to me, and I don't want to go that way, but I'm getting pulled. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you don't even realize, and like you just keep going and going and going and going and going until you're literally deep in the hole, and then there's no way out. You know what I mean?
Understood. Thank you. And everybody in the chat, hopefully everybody in the chat is listening to this. Please drop a comment in the chat.
Yeah,
Drop
man.
some flames in the chat. Share this with your friends, because
What's up?
this
What's
is a
up?
different type of convo. And Jonah, like, what about you? Has it ever been hard for you to ask for help, when you knew that you were feeling like you were drowning? Question for both of you.
100%. And again, it's we can go super deep, but I had.
Make it quick.
Huh?
Make it quick.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to go too deep, because I could talk forever. What was the question again? Sorry.
Like, has it ever been, like, us as Latinos in our culture, sometimes, like, machismo gets in the way. And sometimes, like, in our culture, in our households, we're told to just push through. It's like, yo, just bury it, compartmentalize
100%.
and push. But,
Yeah.
that's not always been the healthiest way. And now we're learning more about mental health. It's become more, it's not so much taboo anymore to talk about it, especially in Latin circles. But did you guys grow up like that, where you were told that you had to compartmentalize and just push through? And reaching out for help now as adult men, was it hard for you guys at first
For me,
or ever?
For me, yes. And again, it's not, like Nico said, it's not to talk bad about anybody, especially like my parents, right? I know that if I ever wanted to speak to my parents, I could, but we weren't used to, again, give you a perfect example of like the relationship that we have with my parents. Like, I love them to death. My mom and my dad are two perfectly imperfect parents. You know what I mean? They did the best that they could with what they had. And obviously, again, like every single person and every single parent, there's adjustments that you could have done, or adjustments that could have been made. And that's where I believe, like, for example, us, Nico's a father. Hopefully, soon we become, sorry, not us, but
I'm a cat dad, so I think it kind of
Same
counts.
Yeah.
you have a cat?
No, I'm saying kind of. He's a dad. He's a cat dad. You just
Oh,
need
okay,
you need
okay.
an animal.
I do. I have a female dog. I'll show you right here.
There you go.
Hold on. Wait. I have it here ready, just in case. Where are you? No, I don't have it here. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, no, it's for me personally. Again, I could have spoken to my parents, but I didn't, because it's not normal. Like, it's not something that we were used to doing. Again, not because they're bad parents, but my whole life, and Nico knows this, it's been at the plaza since I was 4 years old. You know what I mean? My schedule was literally wake up at 6 a.m, or between 6 and 7, do my bed, brush my teeth, get dressed, have breakfast with the family, go to school. When school was done, my dad used to pick us up, go to the plaza, have some supper, do our homework, and then work.
Yeah.
And then on the weekend was the same thing. I didn't, the few couple of years that I was able and blessed to be able to play soccer, that was my little I guess, my little me time. But besides that, I was always, working with my dad or working at the store. So it's not. So to answer your question, no, I didn't really have no one to speak to. Was I afraid?
You chose not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess I didn't have that relationship with anyone to be able to speak to. But obviously, the older I got, the people that I started to meet, I got really close with my musician friends who were much older than me, So I used some of them, to help
Their
me.
knowledge.
So, exactly, right, and their experience and stuff. So yeah.
I also I don't want to say it's bad. Like, mental health is a huge thing. But I also believe that a lot of people use it as an escape. Like, that toughness that we grew up on, that exists. That's real. Because nobody, and like what Jona was saying, like, our parents are imperfectly perfect because they did what they could do with what they had. So
That's right.
Yeah, nobody's stopping them from anything. But it's also different times. It's also different resources. It's also, what we had $100 today, they had $5. You get what I'm saying? So you can't compare, and you can't sit there and just say, well, I have mental health problems, and this, for me there has to be like a serious situation for you to be like, I have mental health problems, and I'm not, and I think every man in this world will have one at some point in their life, because like you said, because you grow up on that masculinity, you grow up on being firm, and like you said, like, oh yeah, deja esa huevada, yeah, you know what I mean, and like move past it, but it's also making you the man, you know what I mean, like if I go down, if I fall and I scrape my knee, that's not mental health.
No, definitely
right?
not.
But some people in this world are like trying to make you convince you that that's mental health, that he's purposely falling and hurting his knee. He needs help.
That's a good one.
You get what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, some people mask the whole mental health thing. And again, to anybody in the viewer section, this is just how I feel. It's my opinion. But it's like, for example, Avicii, like, he had mental health problems because he was masking whatever was going on with him with alcohol and drugs, and that's why he overdosed. He didn't overdose because he was having fun. He overdosed because he wanted to get to a high where he wanted to feel numb. He didn't want to suffer where his brain was at. You get what I'm saying? That's a mental health problem. And it's hard to understand because like you said, you have a safe space. I think everybody has their safe space. I think it's hard for us. I would say every culture in the world, Hispanic, Caucasian, Asian, Caribbean, I think everybody was born or grew up in a hard home, like a hard house home. Everybody was treated differently growing up, but I feel like that also makes you who you are today. And like Jona says, like, growing older, you can look back and be like, oh shit, like, I had a problem there, and I dealt with it, but now I'm going to deal with it differently because I'm a little older and I understand more. And you also got to educate yourself. You know what I mean? You got to educate like I said, like, you got to know your body. Your body needs to know you. If there's a routine and there's knowledge and all this stuff, you got to keep that all into your brain and remember certain things that, this happened, that happened. Okay, cool. I'm going to try to change it, and I've learned that a lot. Like I said, I feel like your new life starts at 30 because you don't make the same mistakes that you made in your 20s.
That's right.
So it's like when they say the 30s are the new 20s, it's true because you're living your 30s with experience. You're living your 30s with knowledge that you've learned over your 20s. So now you're like, you're a little bit faster on this, or hey, I made that mistake when I was 25. I'm not doing it again, So yeah, that's how I feel about that whole situation.
Yeah, everybody Nico P, el filósofo.
Literally.
Yeah.
Nico, so sorry. Go ahead.
No, do your thing, man. Do your thing.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, somebody in this chat here, Comida Peru. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for texting.
Yeah, shout out to you guys, man. Thank you. YouTube Live. We've upgraded from Twitch.tv now on YouTube Live.
Yeah, pretty interesting how it works. But anyways, somebody said here, Comida Peru. They said this generation has become soft in some aspect.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like the masking of mental health. Like I understand we never spoke about it before, but now I feel like it's like it's almost like pushing the agenda of the gay community. Bro, let them be gay. They want to be gay. Let them be gay. You don't need to shove it down my throat. My son shouldn't be learning about it in junior kindergarten that it's okay to kiss other boys. And that's my opinion. And again, to anybody who's watching, my opinion, I think everything takes time to learn in life. I think if we're going to touch quickly on this topic, the whole gay thing, it shouldn't be taught until high school. That's when you're exploring your body. That's when you're talking about sex with your kids and you're learning about, Fully Alive and stuff like that. Maybe grade 8, because I think grade 7 and 8 you learn about the Fully Alive book, and it's the first time you see a penis on a page.
And that's also when you're kind of hitting puberty.
Exactly.
You wanna date
exactly
somebody.
right. Like that's when you really get active. So stuff like that, don't shove it down my throat. So I agree on the more awareness of mental health, but like I said, I feel like people just now they want to use it like, oh, I have mental health problems, like I need help, and it's not fair to the people that actually need it, because not that you're taking away, but it's like, you had a little boo boo, let's move forward from it, like put a band-aid on and continue living your life. You're not that serious to call it a mental health problem.
Michon said that he wrote Fully Alive.
There you go. There's the author. Thank you, Michon. Shout out to you.
Shout out once again to everybody. Shayla, Tuti, thank you guys for that comment.
Is there anybody I don't know in the chat? Shout out to Comida Peruana.
That's Shayla and Tuti.
Oh, okay. Shout out to you guys. With a total of 3 views. I'm just joking.
Nah, man, we actually got some people considering it's live, and
I love it.
we have faith that people are going to be tuning into this afterwards. It's going to be out there on the internet.
I love it.
It's going to be on the internet for people to tune in.
Lights, camera, acción, YouTube live.
Toronto Latino men don't really have these type of conversations.
Oh,
on
100%.
On camera.
Yeah, no, definitely.
With a lot of younger, like, not just DJs, but younger Latino men in the city, like, growing up, we didn't really have these kind of platforms. YouTube.
Correct.
We are from the age where YouTube was becoming a thing, where we were just watching stupid things on YouTube.
Digital.
Yeah.
We're the
digital kids.
Yeah, we're the digital kids. And I mean digital kids because we were introduced to a new world.
That's right.
Right? So us growing up with it, it's like it evolved with us. Like, bro, I remember when I was like, maybe 10 years old or maybe 8 years old, freaking waiting for dial-up in my room because I had the computer in my room. I was cool, My sister didn't have it, and I had it in my room, but everybody would walk into my room because I had the computer, and waiting for dial-up to kick in so that you can play a game that it took 84 hours to download on LimeWire or Napster, So that's what I'm saying. I think we're the digital generation. And we evolved with it. The faster that it evolved, it also evolved. That's why, like, not for anything, but I you can't blame kids that are born now. You can't blame a little kid that wants an iPad because that's their norm. Like, that's their norm. Like, for example, like, I always fought against giving my son an iPad because I want him to go outside and play. But I'm gonna force my son to go outside to play with who? There's nobody outside because there's no other kids playing outside. So how am I going to be a strict parent and say, no, you got to go play outside. Go ride your bike. Go play basketball. And then there's nobody outside because all those kids are on iPads.
This is very, very, very true.
You know what I mean? So it's like these are the things that I'm learning now, even being a father, because I used to remember playing until the lights went on. Used to gather up all the boys, all the girls. Used to play, 4-on-4, 5-on-5. Used to be sweating. Used to have sand in your shoes, this and that. And then you would go home when the lights went on because it was dinner time, and then that was fun. That was the purpose of getting home from school.
Yeah.
So now that's what I'm saying. Now you can't blame kids that are on iPads. You can't blame kids that have a laptop when they're 10 years old because that's their norm. That's their normality. Now, can you control it? 100%. I agree. Have I seen parents, this and that? But then again, I also think as a parent, now that I am one, because I used to judge a lot before I wasn't a parent. Now that I'm a parent, you don't know the situation that they have with their kid. or what is happening in the moment. You know what I mean? Not to say that my son is perfect, but my son is very calm, and I give him his time. He can be on my phone. Like, for example, there's certain scenarios. For example, we go out for dinner. I don't want my son jumping around everywhere, so I'm gonna give him that 30 minutes or half an hour of my phone time, so that my son is sitting still, quiet, while we eat food and he's eating food, because I don't want him running around the restaurant. To me as a parent, it doesn't. Not that it doesn't make me look good, because I could care less about what anybody thinks, but like being a guest, like I putting myself on the other side, being a guest of that, like, bro, control your kid, you know. But again, I think that everybody has a scenario and everybody has a situation as a parent. And again, these things are there to make things easier. And again, we live in a digital world, so we just gotta accept it.
Yeah, for me, I actually, I'm hoping that I have some kids, you know, in the very near future. I'm sure Jonah wants to have kids in the future as well. And, you know, just seeing everything that is going on in the world, we're more exposed to knowledge about the dangers of fast food and stuff. Like, how do you feel about giving, I don't know if you have, no judgment, if you give a kid fast food, but
my son sees the McDonald's sign and he's like, French fry. I want French fry. How can you say no to the greatest French fries in the world, even if they're fast food? Again, it's a never-ending battle. I think it's a never-ending conversation. As much as you see the bad in McDonald's, Burger King, I still eat it. I'm not saying eat it every day, but at the end of the day, if you think about it, and not to get vulgar, but when you were young, you probably ate mud, you probably ate sand, you probably
some bugs.
Yeah, you probably ate bugs. You probably had a competition of who would eat that ant. You get what I'm saying? Like, you've done dirty stuff. So McDonald's once in a while, it's not gonna kill you, you know. Now, if you're eating it every day, then that's a health issue. You know, that's something else. But you can't, like, the conversation I was having with you, we can't control the world. Like, if somebody thinks they're gonna wake up and control the world, it's impossible. We need people to die. We need people to be sick. We need people to be healthy. We need people to be poor. We need people to be mid class. We need people working. We need people not working. We need rich people. We need multi-billionaires. We need zillionaires. You know what I mean? All that matters, because all that is what makes the world. Because imagine if everybody was poor. Imagine the whole world was poor. What are we doing?
We would be hunter-gatherers, I think. We would be village. I think we would be...
Okay, but you're a hunter-gatherer. Okay, you're a hunter-gatherer, but
oriented.
how about who's planting? If you only know how to hunt together.
I don't know. I mean, based on Latin culture, we were pretty damn good at that.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
everybody
100%.
has a position. It's unfortunate to say, but, you know, luckily for us, we were like, I was born here. I wasn't born in Argentina. If I was born in Argentina, I'd probably be a street guy. I'm thinking, this is my opinion. I'd probably be a street thug, okay? Stealing people's phones, probably in a whole shitload of drugs, because of the personality that I have now. So if I'm creating a persona that were to grow up in Argentina, bro, you live on the street. Like, not that it's bad, but back home, you live on the street. You're never home. You go to school.
This is very true.
You go to school. As soon as you come back from school, you're dropping off your bag and you're going out of the streets. And that's what I'm saying. Like, here in North America, you don't see it. But when you go back home, all the kids are still playing on the streets. All the kids are still playing together. Because why? They don't have that. They don't have the money to afford a $1,500 iPad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a luxury. You know what I mean? Or when you go back home with, like, fucking brand new iPhone, an iWatch, this and that, your cousins are looking at you and be like, pero primito tiene plata, eh? You know what I mean? And you don't. You actually don't. Because you just bought it because that's your normality. But when you go back home, and that's what I'm saying, like, every time I've gone to Cuba, and it's unfortunate what's happening now in Cuba. Shout out to todos los cubanos, que one of my good friends is Cuban and my roommate. But when I went to Cuba, bro, those people appreciate life.
Yep.
They wake up happy. They wake up happy because they're happy to wake up with the minimal that they had nothing before, bro. Now they have air. Now what they're getting from the government is air, but again, that's a whole political thing that I have a lot of my opinions, but relating to everything, bro, and that's why, like, sometimes I do want to get up and move with my son to Argentina or whatever, But what I'm gonna give him the possibility of living a great life like that I had, but now with not the consequence, but with the chance of being a callejero, mixing in with the wrong people. You know what I mean? So it's difficult. It's hard.
Yeah, honestly, I always go back and I remember, like, if my mom didn't get us out of El Salvador, like, I was born in El Salvador during the war,
Yeah, there you go.
you know, and if I had grown up there, considering the teenage life that I had here, I definitely would have been with tattoos all over my face,
There you go.
you know, straight up. And I'm very grateful that I'm here. But you know, even the food is a little bit better back there. Like even like
all
McDonald's
naturally
and stuff
grown,
is real food.
100%.
I don't know if you guys noticed something that's been going around for years, where there was it's conspiratorial a little bit, but there was a rabbi that was saying that they put like human meat in McDonald's food.
I wouldn't be surprised, brother. You know what it is? I think like the same theory that I have about resorts and stuff like that. Resorts are not cooking for your liking. They're cooking for the masses.
That's right.
They're cooking for 5,000 guests. They don't care if I didn't put salt in your freaking rice. You get what I'm saying? Put your own salt. I'm cooking for 5,000 people that need to eat in 3 hours. So now look at America. Look at North America. The population. We can't generate enough healthy food because it doesn't grow on time. So now, you have to fake food? That's what they did.
That's right. We don't even, like, Canada just recently launched they're putting artificial meat, mixing it with the real meat.
It's all in front of your face. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. You go back home and you're eating real stuff, right? Like you're eating real cow meat. You're eating all this stuff, and you know it tastes better, and you feel fuller. You feel fuller, but you don't feel tired.
That's right. You don't feel that nasty drag, man.
You know what I mean? So I definitely agree in the whole food sector. Like that's definitely happening in North America. But like I said, we live here. You can either be against it, and again, it's gonna cost you a lot of money to be healthy, and you see it all over the supermarket. You see it all over TV and the commercials. Oh yeah, buy pre-made foods, only $74 a plate, and then you can buy a burger for $2.
I know, it's crazy. And one of the things that came up in a video that I was watching, it's like we don't see that many cows around us. You know, even farmed cows. So where are we getting all the meat for these McDonald's burgers? Apparently they sell about, I don't know if it's just in the U.S., but they sell about 6 million burgers a day.
Yeah.
A day. Where are they getting that many cows to feed people?
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. The masses. They're not doing it for you to be healthy. And again, I had a cousin. Same, like, for example, I feel like I'm overweight for my age. I know the doctors told me this and that, and I do want to change, and I do want to get better for myself and for the future of my kid. But it is a lot harder here than it is back home. My cousin, same age, we were the same weight till about 31 or 32, and this guy like in less than a year changed completely, and now he's super skinny. Didn't go crazy. He didn't go hit the gym every day and freaking, pump this and that. He just ate better. That's all he did. He just lowered his portions, had more chicken and protein and salads and stuff like that. But again, I always say the food back home or anywhere else besides America is a lot better and cheaper.
100%.
I mean, look at Jona, man. Jona's looking
Sexy.
Uy, papichi.
Se le cae la gordura, pero se le cae el pelo también.
I know.
It's okay. You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
I'm losing it. Dude, one thing about losing weight is the amount of money you have to spend constantly to buy new clothes.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I remember, again, just before I started making the switch, it was about, again, I went to go see a friend, and I spent maybe like $1,500 on a whole bunch of clothing.
Did you get rid of your Mark Anthony shirt? No, because now you would look good in it. You would look good in it.
Anyways, shout out to everybody in the chat. Visual Productions, George Vargas, how are you, brother? My uncle, everyone that's all watching. I'm just trying to, distract what he was saying, or I don't even know where the shirt is. I forgot I had a shirt.
We're gonna keep with the questions because I can see Mario has a whole freaking whoppa.
No.
Hold on.
We can have the questions, but let's keep it organic. Like there's certain
100%.
things that people would love to hear the cliche questions and stuff, but I think people would like to hear the real you, like what in regards to kids, for example. Like a lot of people these days, they give the iPad to their kids, and that's who's raising their kids.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I said, because I'm a father now, I feel like you have to know the situation. Like I said before, I was a father. I judged a lot, and I didn't judge in a bad way. I just judged in a way like I'm never gonna do that. And bro, you can't say that. Like you can't say that at all because it's like now that I'm in the position, it's like shit. Like you gotta really understand your child and be there and stuff like that. So you know what I mean. Like you can't get mad at the mom for doing something certain ways because again, like for example, like the mom technically spends more time with the father than the father. So there's certain things and certain attributes that your kid will have with you that they don't really follow with their mom. You know, like for example, the listening and this and that. Why? Because they feel like mom is the strict one. Mom is like telling me the one to do this and to do that. When comes home, it's all about fun and games. You know, dad comes home, we play together, and you know, we get our laughs, and he tickles me. But it's also because you were out working all day, so all you want to do is just go home and not be the bad dad because you want your kids to love you, right? So yeah, it's difficult. I think there is a balance. I think there's you know, I do think there is parents that you know just like here get out of my face. Which again, I'm not gonna say I've never done it. I've done it a few times. Again, it all depends on your day. And like I said, I'm an emotional person. Sometimes I might, you know, be in a fight with my sister or my partner or a friend, you know, and it's just that moment that you just don't want to deal with anything. And you're also human. Like we're human. So to everybody watching that's a parent, shout out to you. I joined the crew over 3 years ago, and I have mad respects for everybody. No matter if you are with your kids or without your kids or separated, keep being there for your kids no matter what. All right? So shout out to all of you.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And I don't know, have you ever heard of the show Coco Melon?
Yes, I have. I haven't investigated. I have mixed reviews about it, but my son does request Coco Melon.
Oof.
But again, I also feel that I think we're doing too much sometimes. Like the kid is not gonna understand. Like you're gonna understand it as a parent, but it's like, for example, like see what they say about Coco Melon. Okay, now I'll tell you. Let's sing back. Let's sing back the music that we grew up to. Okay, Spice Girls. Let's sing those lyrics. Oh, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Tell me what you want, what you really. I wanna zigga zigga ah. We were singing it like it was nothing.
What about the Britney Spears? Hit me, baby, one more time. Like crazy. And she was, what, 15, 16, wearing a skirt and everything.
She was wearing the high school
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean? So it's like they put all this energy as adults to say Coco Melon is trying to seduce your kid and this and that. But the kid is just watching what's colorful and I like I've done some research. If you notice, and the reason why I've done research is because of music. If you notice, every single kid's music or that's made for kids are played at certain notes and at certain chimes.
That's right.
Because that's what activates their brain. You know what I mean? So for example, I haven't investigated this far, but in my head, it's like, why do you think Bad Bunny is the biggest artist in the world? Because he has probably done his research onto what sounds will stimulate the brain to control that you're going to like it, regardless if it's in Spanish, in Indian, in Chinese, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, especially with everything that happened with the Super Bowl. You're going to like it. You have no choice. You're going to be standing there and your body's just going to be like, and you're like, you know, what's going on? But it's just because your brain is telling you, wow, those are good rhythms. You know what I mean?
It's actually, sorry, it's actually, just to add to what Nico was saying, it has a lot to do with frequencies, right?
Yeah, frequencies, exactly.
And like, there's specific chords that when you play them, it makes you feel certain things, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of artists, especially these labels, these huge record labels that, for example, take care of Bad Bunny, right? It's not just, hey, let me make a beat. Yeah, cool. Make the beat, but it has to be a specific, you know what I mean, within a specific bandwidth
range,
in terms of range, in terms of frequency, right?
Exactly.
Because again, going back to the whole playing specific chords, when you play, you know, a specific chord that, you know, makes you sorry, there's specific chords that will make you feel happy,
Happy.
right? And then there's the ones, and like for example, Bad Bunny, whatever they're doing, again, it's in terms of the beat and stuff. I don't agree a lot with his lyrics, but in terms of the beat, the beat is like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like for example, the one on the last album, it's called Oe O Eo. Sorry, that one. Dun 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 dun. Like what the hell? Like
exactly.
that makes anybody want to go, right? But
it's funny that you mentioned the last about Bad Bunny, because I heard an interview with Ivy Queen where he asked Ivy Queen to be on Yo Perreo Sola. And I don't know what happened. It didn't end up happening. And then she said, she's like, but you're such a nice boy.
Yeah, I remember that. I've seen that.
Why are you singing this profanity? And he said, because this is what the consumer wants. And that's it. That's the business.
Send me that link when you guys can.
Yeah. It was on a reel that I watched that she says.
I actually watched that interview.
Yeah, exactly. Ivy Queen says that. And it's true. It's what the consumer wanted. And not for anything. But, bro, you're looking at the number. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are mad about the NFL. But, sorry that I go off topic, but people are mad about the NFL, but the NFL is trying to expand. How do you expand? You book the number one artist. It doesn't matter what he sings. He can sing, like I said, he can sing Asian. He can sing Punjabi. He is the number one streamed artist in the world. You want to expand? You want more people to watch it? You book him. It's not about hip hop. It's not about nothing. Now, people are mad because there's like, oh, it's an American sport, It's an American sport, and we need country music, and we need this and that. And it's like, for example, I again, back to social media. A local comedian, Nima Nas, one of my boys, he made a statement talking about how are you mad that Bad Bunny is the halftime show when he's singing stuff like Titi me pregunto si tengo mucha novia, and he starts singing, and then people in the audience start clapping to the beat. So they're giving him a beat, and they're like, "See, perfect reaction." He's like, "I just started singing, and you guys got contagious and started clapping to the beat." Now, would you rather that or "Hey, I fucked my sister"? You know what I mean? Which is
a lot of mercy.
Like you know what I mean? Like country. I'm not saying all country music's like that, but then again, because he's a comedian, that it bursted out. People started laughing because it's true. You know what I mean? So like it's crazy, but yeah, that's about the Bad Bunny and being number one artist. My bad.
No. Honestly, amazing. I've if people have been if you follow me on social media, you don't know what I've been sharing on social.
Oh
media.
yeah, 100%.
What do you call it? Just going back to like the Coco Melon thing. And kids, like I actually did like a reaction video to the Coco Melon.
Okay.
And dude, it's so dangerous nowadays what they're feeding and pumping to kids, because the study that I watched, you can find it on my Revelations podcast YouTube channel, please.
Check it out.
They actually turn up the colors so intensely that it actually acts almost like crack to the kids. Yeah. Where it's like they have tantrums, they go nuts because they need the Coco Melon. Like they've actually gone in, done they actually the company that does Coco Melon, they bring kids in, I think once a month, and they test episodes.
I believe it.
And to see like how many seconds the kid is turned away from the TV. Yeah. And they go back and they fine tune it to make sure that the kid is glued,
locked in.
Right. And
but that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, as bad as it sounds, it's also business.
But they're doing it to toddlers now, bro.
Yeah,
like,
but
it wasn't always like that. I think
I'm not saying it's okay.
No, for sure.
Because I'm not saying it's
just being passionate
exactly.
about it.
No, I get it. But at the same time, not for anything, but the day that you have kids, you're gonna not blur what you've learned, but you're gonna be like, oh, now I get what Nico was talking about, because that's the thing. You need to make a product for a certain age that is gonna be addicted to it. For example, why is Batman still around? Why is Spider-Man still around? Why are all this Captain Marvel and Marvel Productions and DC? Why are they still around?
That makes sense.
Because it's superheroes, right? So you create something for this generation that they're gonna grow with, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you are mad as an adult that they're doing this for Coco Melon, but you think your son or daughter is gonna be 24 years old looking at Coco Melon? No, man. It's just a phase in their life. And that's what I'm saying. I take it seriously. Yes, I take it seriously. But it's not when you become a parent, you understand that it's okay. And like I said, my son does ask for Coco Melon sometimes. Do I try to avoid? Of course. Paw Patrol, But again, everybody wants to say that there's something controlling something at the end of the day, and that's what I'm kind of like just over. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you have phases in your life. My son now from 0 to 5 is not gonna be the same kid from 5 to 10. He's not gonna be watching Cocomelon because he's gonna start figuring out who his favorite superhero is, or who does he want to dress up as for Halloween. You know what I mean? It's different times in their life. So yeah, that's my opinion on the whole. I guess the whole world saying that it's controlling. Yeah, it might be controlling. They might do those tests, but those tests goes to prove that their product works.
Unfortunately.
You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, so we're making the right product. We're making the right TV show because the kid is locked in and is going to ask for Cocomelon for at least 2 years of his life. You know what I mean? Or 3. If they have 4 or 5, that's even better for their brand because they're gonna buy Cocomelon, they're gonna buy the costumes, they're gonna buy the products that they put out. So it's a never-ending circle of business. The bigger picture, business.
That's true. That's true, and it's unfortunate, and we could only hope we can try, to avoid it. I know sometimes it's impossible, but.
Yeah, but why do you say avoid? Like, why?
Because I feel like
What are we avoiding? What are you avoiding
compared to how when we grew up, you were mentioning Spice Girls, right?
Yeah.
That was marketed more to like preteens, right? It wasn't marketed necessarily to like kindergarten girls. Nowadays, like stuff like Cocomelon.
Okay, so you think
toddlers.
there was no subliminal message in Arthur? You're thinking there was no subliminal message in Franklin? You get what I'm saying? Like now it's because the world has expanded so much that you can literally go into the dark web and find anything.
Yeah.
But we didn't have that back then. So
right.
why don't you find somebody that's obsessed with, like, for example, that's obsessed with Cocomelon and tell them, please review Arthur or review The Magic School Bus. You know what I mean? Like those shows that we grew up on. Because there has to be something. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There has to be something.
Possibly.
You know what I mean?
Possibly.
So, again, why? Because those people that live in those positions that I say, you need to have those people in the world to make the world go round. Everybody plays a role in their position. Whether it's me being a DJ and an entertainer for half of my life and then I decide to quit, that is my position in this world. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like I accept your opinion and I agree to disagree because, like I said, I was on your side. Like, what the fuck, Cocomelon? That's fucked up. But
Right.
now I have a kid, and now my kid asked me for Cocomelon, and yeah, I could say no because I think it's fucked up. But like, what? My son is gonna enjoy a year, and like, we're gonna move on from that after. So
You could only hope so, or maybe it's making them more susceptible that
To color,
when they're older, the programming just works automatically.
yeah, but for example, like that's what I'm going to. You sitting here on the couch at your age, do you know what a toddler thinks about at 1 year old?
Not necessarily, but as the age that I'm at, because of the programming that we had to deal with growing up, having to unlearn or step out of learn that we are in the matrix, and stepping out of that was a very difficult thing. I don't know if a lot of people in the chat have experienced that, where you had that kind of awakening where it's like, whoa, as you get older, you look back at the stuff that we accepted as normal, and we're like, whoa, I was listening to that, I was watching that as a kid. No wonder I ended up being such a horn dog, you know what I mean? Because
100%.
of the programming. Even with reggaeton, right? We grew up with reggaeton all day long, talking about what it is. Like some people, it affected them to a deeper level.
Yeah, but see, okay, let's talk about reggaeton. Reggaeton in North America is seen as horn dog. You just want to fuck this and that. But then back home, it's normal. Why is it normal back home, and why is it different here?
But I mean, are situations really that much better back home in regards to sexuality? Because I remember when I was in El Salvador, the last time that I went, I was a kid, actually. I need to go back. But when I was 13 years old, I went to El Salvador. They were blasting Daddy Yankee everywhere.
Yeah.
Not that I had a problem with it.
Of course.
But it's like the sexualization of the youth was so big. Like we went to me and my family, we went to a street fair.
Yeah.
And there was a tent where they were doing a live sex show. you know, and it's like this was so normal. It was becoming so normalized.
Agree.
You know,
Okay.
there was
maybe a little too much.
they
Yeah.
had like girls. The show was promoting that there was girls going at it in that tent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just like, yeah, back home I think there was a lot more liberty in regards to that.
Yeah. Where I was going with it, that a little far, but where I was going with, like, for example, like, it's okay to grind on each other. It's not forbidden.
Right.
You're dancing. Where here it's like, oh my God, no, we don't do that here, you know. So that's what I'm saying. It's like things in different parts of the world represent something else, and things are, I guess, are okay with it, and then things on this side of the world are like, it's bad or it's banned. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, reggaeton is a huge thing because our cultures grew up with reggaeton. You know what I mean? Like, our generation is what grew up with reggaeton. That's what I'm saying. Just like the internet. The internet reggaeton literally came over almost the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
So it's like we grew up with that. We're the generation that grew up with internet reggaeton.
Yep, very good conversations. But before we continue, I just want to, before I forget, this Saturday I'm going to be DJing here at Andres' event. It's
Brother, come on. We're on
long-
YouTube. Give me a second here.
Wait, what happened? Oh, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, long weekend edition, Lodge Mixer Apreski, Saturday, February 14th at 5 p.m. Free cocktails for the first 50 tickets. Make sure you get it. Hosted by Andres Ramirez, live DJ Quintero. Make sure you buy your tickets. Apps included in ticket price. Lights, camera, action. Live on YouTube.
Yeah. Shout out to Andres putting these events together for the community.
Yes, sir. So just to put a little bit of a pause about these amazing topics and stuff, but back to Nico. Nico, what's if you remember?
You got 10 minutes.
Only 10 minutes.
I gotta be a father.
Oh, sorry. What's one thing you remember about us growing up that we always used to do, or something, or a story or something that you want to let people know?
Oh, Jona, my God. I think some of my greatest moments is working for Corporación Azul. I know that we've had some serious talks recently because now we're older and you know you're going through your life change and I've kind of beating you to a punch in terms of having a kid, so you kind of ask me questions and feed off that.
Mm-hmm.
So because we're both in different parts in our lives. But some of the greatest things that I have experienced is the love for music, the festivals, the sleeping at Caledonia Park so that they wouldn't steal your dad's speakers, which was all bullshit because it just was because dad didn't want to go home because he's like, no, we have to sleep in the van because I only have one security guard. No, he didn't want to pay security guards to stay to keep watch.
Mm.
What else? Fulanito, when they were like at their biggest moment
At Paradise.
Paradise, yeah. I was running around at 12 years old, shooting wires and throwing cables at dad and fixing all this stuff. And then just honestly, like I said, my life with you, and then you said it, in our introduction. I think we can say easily 20 plus years of friendship. I can easily say that if it wasn't for La Familia Quintero and Corporación Azul, I wouldn't be half of the person that I am today, which is Nico P. Because, like you said, you jumped into something and you have to do it. And it's true. Like, everybody asks me, how do you do it? And it's because I jumped into it and I perfected it. So the for the people that do content creation and the people that go on and do reels and stuff like that and they feel like they're failing because they recorded it 104 times. I was that one person as well. I used to be that person. I'm not that person anymore because I've mastered my craft. So something that you might ask me to record, let's say once or twice, I'll probably get it on the first try. Or it might take you 100 tries, but you got to keep going until you master it. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much the gist of who Nico P and like I said, the involvement of the Quintero family in Corporación Azul.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome, buddy.
What was I gonna say? You said you have to leave soon, right? 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we'll start wrapping it up slowly, but again, thank you everyone that's been tuning in and stuff. And Nico,
Anybody have questions in the chat?
yeah,
Drop them now. Drop any question.
Any questions? And
Any
by the way, we
question.
didn't go as deep as we wanted to go, but again,
No, there's always season 7, episode 1.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Is there any questions in the chat?
Any question that you missed, Mario, that you think is really important?
Yeah, it's everybody knows Nico P the entertainer, but a lot of people don't know Nico P the dad, which is none of their business really.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But in regards to advice that you can give as somebody that is an influential person in the community.
Yes.
There's a lot of fathers, you know what I mean, that could be listening, and
100%.
they see you as somebody that is like, okay, admirable, right?
Yeah.
In regards to that, it's like, what patterns from your upbringing are you actively trying not to repeat?
That's a good one. Definitely the absence of a father. And I don't mean that my dad ran away, because he didn't. My dad was just working a lot. So
Right.
I have to respect the fact that what my dad couldn't be there for was to give us a better future. So it's not that I hate my dad or I'm mad at my dad. There's moments in my life that, now that I'm turning 36 this year, there has been moments in my life where I have broken down like a little baby, and kind of be like, my dad wasn't there for me, because it did suck. But like I said, the older you grow up to be, and the more you understand life, and it sucks because it's true, but those moments where your dad tells you, you're gonna remember me when something happens, or this happens in the future, and it does. It's a symbolic circle moment. You know what I mean? Because you're like, fuck, el viejo tenía razón. Like, your dad was right. And now that I'm a father, and shout out to anybody, it's a good thing that you asked me that. One thing that I'm gonna say about fatherhood is, it's almost the same thing as doing something new. Don't try to control it. Don't try to be prepared, because you're never going to be prepared. Just try to enjoy the moment, because just the exact same way that you live your life growing up and your parents were learning how to be parents, you're going to be the exact same thing. And as a father of a 3.5-year-old, I have loved every single moment, because I have learned every single moment of being a father to this little person that I created with somebody else and share that special bond with, that you learn yourself how to become who you want to become, or the father or the mother figure that you want to become for this special child. So to anybody watching, don't be afraid. If you're with somebody and you want to take that next step and it happens, don't be scared, because at the end of the day, if you're scared, it's okay. It's okay to be scared, because you're going to learn. There's no manual for this parenthood. There's no manual for how to raise a child. And I bet you there probably is on Amazon, and somebody's making money off it, but just give it everything you got, and always put your heart first. And that's the one thing that I can say about my son being born, is my life changed completely when my son was born, because I couldn't believe that I created another human being, and your purpose in life becomes them. So I could care less what happens to me tomorrow, as long as my son is okay. That's all that matters. And I'm telling you straight from the bottom of my heart, I love my son more than anybody in this world. As much as you can say you love your parents and you love your siblings, when you create somebody new in this world and it's a part of your creation, and as I don't want to sound vulgar, but from the semen of your body and the body of a woman, that you create this person, the love is unexplainable.
Nico P, the health practitioner. Thank you, man.
So
That was beautiful.
We have a question here.
Yeah, let's go.
Was there a major decision you made last year that you wish you could have handled differently?
Was there a major decision last year
that you wish you could have handled differently?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've had many moments where I might have had the wrong decision, but like I said, I'm a type of person that I roll with what's happening around me. So, for example, if I was in a mad era, of course I could have handled it differently because I could have been in a different mind state. You know what I mean? Or, for example, like I made a decision because I got into an accident. So now I'm mad because now I got to fork out all this money to fix my car. I'm not saying it happened to me, but you know what I mean? Like life happens, and that's why I say like I can't tell you what I'm gonna be doing in 1 year. You know what I mean? Um, and that's one of my biggest things that I can't tell you like, yeah, I can do your wedding in 2 years because I don't know where I'm gonna be. You know what I mean? I don't know where I'm gonna be as a person. I don't know if like, and that's why like I give credit, like for example, now that we're kind of talking about the general thing is like somebody like Daddy Yankee. Whoever thought? Whoever thought? But then who also ever thought that he was gonna be in the biggest divorce of the century?
Yeah, man.
You get what I'm saying? Somebody that was ride or die for him became the biggest villain. So you don't know what's gonna happen. So if I did make a mistake last year, probably I do regret it. I could definitely probably make sure that I could tweak some things to have done better. But then also in my future, I don't know what state of mind or what position I'm gonna be in, because tomorrow is unknown. So you know what I mean. I could be sick. I could be in bed. I could be in the hospital. I can be in a different country. I can be stuck. There's so many things. So, but yeah, I definitely could. Every decision you make from the past can be definitely treated or changed in the future.
Of course. One more question here. What has changed you since being a dad?
My reason of living. Like I said before, I everything is about him now. All my decisions have been to be the best father that I can be for my son. And I feel that him being born has made me a better person, has made me push certain things to another level. And again, everything is for him now. So now I understand, like I said, when I talked about my dad and how I said, like, your dad will tell you something and then later in life, it's happened to me already, So when my dad said, vas a entender cuando tenés un hijo, and now I understand because I have a son, and that devotion, that hunger, like you might have hunger now with your podcast and work and stuff, and Jona has this hunger for chasing faith and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, when you guys have kids, you're gonna be like, mi viejo y Nico P tenía razón. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's definitely a big game changer, and I love every single minute of it that I have a son.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So we have one more question, and then we'll wrap it up. But what's one piece of advice you can give to upcoming artists and or MCs in the community?
All right. So this is gonna be answer for artist, DJ, MC, anybody in the entertainment industry. You need to work at it. You need to put your product out there. You need to put yourself in the room that you want to be in. Recording music in your basement is only going to get you so far. Recording DJ sets in your basement is only going to get you so far. I am not against new talent. I have never been against new talent. I want people to reach out to me to tell me that they want to learn. The problem is that nowadays, all these young people that see us doing what we've done, for example, I say Jonathan, I say Mechon, I say Danny Castro, I say all the older guys that we've learned from them. This is years of work. This is not one reel hitting 1 million views. This is real endless hours of determination, of practice, of money, of weekends. I've devoted my life to being an entertainer. I haven't gone to family functions. I haven't gone to birthdays. I haven't gone to vacations because I devoted my life to being the best that I can be, and I still will choose this life again and again and again in the future, because at the end of the day, it is a part of my life and it is a business. So the advice that I give to everybody, don't stop, surround yourself around the people that you want to become or want to be. If you think that I'm the best DJ in the world, or you think Mechona is the best DJ in the world, or you think Jona is the best DJ in the world, don't be shy. Ask them. Today is a lot easier than back in the day when you had to find somebody in the 411 yellow pages. Now you can send them a direct email, Instagram message. You can even probably get their number because it's somewhere on social media, and you can ask them for help. And if they don't help you, then that's on them. But somebody will help you to be better and better yourself in the near future.
Amen, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's already 8:59 and he has to get going. But Nico, I just want to say I love you. You know, you've been in my life since we had hair. You know, since you had the gold hair, the blonde hair, or whatever color it was. And
Are you gonna propose to me?
No.
Oh,
'cause
man.
That's what it sounded like. It was
Yeah,
leading
right?
to.
No.
Yeah,
That
I
would
love
be,
you.
I'm just giving you your flowers again, like I posted on my story and stuff.
Thank you, sir.
And like I said in the beginning of the show too, like it's we've been through a lot of different phases in our life, some good, some bad. You know, there was even times where we didn't speak to each other, and we had to show face whenever we had to do work and stuff. And I just I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the man that you're becoming. Obviously, we always have to keep moving. We always have to keep adjusting because it's just the way it works. You know what I mean? We don't live in four walls. If we lived in four walls and we never left, you don't have to grow or change or anything,
Correct.
right? But it's like we don't do that. You know, it's not realistic. And you know, you have a gift. You know, and this is the same thing that I said to you in the beginning when I did the little intro, right? Like, you have a gift. You know, and it's not just the voice. It's not just the energy that you bring, and you make a lot of people happy with what you do. And again, I don't want to go too deep, you know, and add to what he was saying in the beginning, but you know, I believe that we have a responsibility to do good and to be good and to, I guess, not only give the best of ourselves, but you know, try and give the best advice to people that are around you and stuff. And
100%.
maybe I'm steering off or I'm not making sense.
No, like I said, like I am who I am because of the amount of positive feedback that I've gotten over my years.
Mhm.
Because and I'm gonna go back to telling people sometimes it's not for you. So go knock somewhere else or go knock another profession. I know so many people that don't have a job today that they don't know what they want to do with their lives, but try somewhere. It could be a DJ, it could be an MC, it could be a designer, it could be a fashion. I just saw some kid, apparently he's designing for Louis Vuitton and Gucci in Paris. He's 13 years old, this kid, because he just had this talent of cutting fabric. You know what I mean? Look him up. I think his name is Marcus or something. But again, you can like something, but it might not be for you. And I'm still doing this because I feel like this is for me, because I've had a lot of people tell me that I am good at what I do. And I had a lot of random people, and that's what I'm saying. The random people is the people that make me keep going. And not to discredit anybody that I know in my life, because I know everybody just wants the best for me, or again, they admire me. I have a lot of friends that I don't believe half of their comments because they're friends to me. Like Jona tells me all the time, "You're the best. You're the best." I don't think that because he's my friend. So it's almost like you're bound to tell your friends, like, you know, you're
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie to you either.
Correct. No, that's what I'm saying. But there are people in this world that, you know, they just cheer you on because they want to be a nice friend. And I accept that and I understand that. And there's people for that role. But it's the strangers that come up to me and tell me, "Bro, you're really good at what you do," or "Thank you for your service," or "This is why I booked you." You know what I mean? So those are the people that keep me motivated, because it's like I am doing good. You know, I am doing well, or I am you know, at the top of my game, or whatever the case is, and I don't want to fall off, because that's my drug, you know, that being there. And like, you know, like I said, like, who would have thought at 35 I'm still doing the number one spot on a weekend? You know what I mean? I would have thought I've been done by now. But now you ask me, I'm gonna go for another 10 years because there's nobody behind me that's hungrier than me. You know what I mean? Because I'm still that 19-year-old kid that's still hungry and wants to be the better person that I was yesterday. You know, and like I said, all involves with me and having a kid and my life changing. You just want to be the better version of yourself than where you were yesterday. So that all, you know, concludes with everything.
Of course. Mary, do you have anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, man. Shout out. Thank you so much for that. Like I've I'm a student of the game as well, you know, and I'm
Everybody,
very, very
I'm
grateful.
also there. I just have a couple more years, but I am also a student of the game.
Yes, sir. And thank you so much for the chat. Thank you for showing us your humanity, showing us, you know, what goes on inside, you know,
Thanks, bro.
inside your mind. You know, like I think a lot of people don't get to experience that. They just see you
100%.
behind the decks. You
Yeah.
know,
They see a different person.
that's right.
Yeah, no, 100%. I told Jonah, I love talking about these things, because it's true. You know, people don't really know you, and again, I know that a lot of people know who Nico P is, but you know, chilling in a house, I'm not that person. You know, maybe at an event, yeah, but if we're eating at home or whatever, yeah, I'm just you know, a regular guy, funny, and you know, just sitting beside you having dinner or having a drink or water or whatever case may be. But it's true. You don't know the person until you kind of like fully understand that, you know, oh shit, he does this for work, or he has a kid, you know, and stuff like that. So now people might understand me, and the people in the chat, you know, you might have known Nico P, but now you know a little bit more about my life and how I think about things and my opinion about things and stuff like that. And you might create either a better version of me in your head, or you might disagree, and that's okay too, because that's what the world goes around, for people to agree to disagree, to have opinions and stuff like that. So thank you for having me on the podcast. Like I said, congratulations on year number 2, season 2, episode 1. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. YouTube Live, Lights, Camera, Accion podcast. This is Nico P. Let's change the camera here, Jonah, right here.
No, that's take pictures.
Oh, only pictures? Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nico P, also known as Nicolas Panart, and this is season 2, episode 1 of Lights, Camera, Accion. Ciao.
Perfect, Mr. Mario. If you wanna, you know, say
Yeah.
bye bye.
Yeah, I wanted to just before we go, right, tell people where they can find you.
Oh, of course. Should have done this in the beginning. But you can definitely check me out right here. Wow, I still got it. I still remember my left and my right. Check it out. It's Nico P, ITZNICOP. That is my main handle for everything. I do also have a website, but I have nothing on it. But our main website is my company website, which is www.ilovethatparty.com. Everything that's happening with me, I do a weekly Saturdays at Mist with my partner DJ Michon, all hosted by. We're doing it at Rebel March 6th, and then I'm flying out with him to do Montreal Saturday, March 7th. So buy your tickets now. Go check out the website, www.ilovethatparty.com. All the links are there for all the guest lists, any bottle service. You message the group chats and all the tickets that we do our events. And get ready, because we're doing a lot of big things this year. The block party is going to be a lot bigger this year. Shout out to Barrio. Shout out to the people that make it happen, working together. And shout out to everybody I'm working with. Shout out to Miss Toronto. Make sure you check us out, 423 College Street, every Saturday night. If your birthday's coming up, I would love to host your birthday.
Wicked, Mr. Mario. Again,
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. And following that, you can find me right here at DJ Revelations. On Instagram, you can find my channel on YouTube at Revelations Podcast TV, right? Sharing reaction videos, sharing DJ mixes, all that good stuff. Please come and support. And support Lights, Camera, Accion. Thank you, Jona, for this opportunity. Shout out to Oye Latinos as well. Please go and follow Oye Latinos on Instagram, sharing amazing content. A lot of, you know, I love the stuff that you guys share, man.
Man, it's crazy.
really cool.
Jonah does a great job. If you haven't known,
No.
Jonah does a great job.
no,
Jonah does a great job.
No.
Jonah is a mastermind.
Not
He's grown it so much. I'm so proud of him. I obviously work
I'm
in
not.
the back ends, but yes, Oye Latinos. If you do see the content, bro, we're getting good likes, brother. 200, 300 likes. Wow, man.
I'm not. I'm not satisfied.
You're growing. You're good. I don't want you to be satisfied, because I want 1,000 likes next. But yeah, shout out to you, and make sure you follow Oye Latinos for the latest in media and anything that's happening, music or worldwide news at Oye Latinos. And hopefully we do something this summer with Oye Latinos, maybe an event or so. Me and Jonah have to definitely plan that out. But with our journeys kind of colliding together, and we're super busy with our personal stuff, hopefully we can make that happen.
Yes, sir. So adding to what Nico was saying, we actually are going to be doing an event. It's going to be like a, what was it again? Like a fundraiser? No, not fundraiser. What was it again?
We did it. We didn't technically close the idea, but I said it was
We're going to be
a
donating.
It was like a
yeah.
donation center. People can come donate clothes for the homeless people.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try to take care of the Latin
Side of things.
side of things in terms of like if there's any any Latinos that that are on the street that need clothing for the winter because it has been very cold, -30 temperatures. Some people don't even have a jacket. So we're organizing an event. If you have any clothes that you want to get rid of, we are going to set up a donation center. Jona's going to be DJing the live stream there. So we'll have the flyer and everything up ready within this week. But yeah, we are going to be live on location. It's going to be on a Sunday during the day. Saturday during the day.
The 28th.
All right, so Saturday during the day, and you can come and drop off any winter clothes that you do not need anymore that could be passed on to somebody that needs it. And then together with the store owner, we are going to focus on mainly Latino-based, anybody that's Latino that needs help for this winter.
Of course, and also the store that we're working with, they're going to be donating 50 jackets.
Wow, 50.
So again, if you know
Sick.
if you know any family member or anybody that or friends that might need a bit more warmth, in this crazy winter.
Yeah, that as well. If you know anybody directly to you that
Yeah.
don't have the financial stability to buy a winter jacket or can't at the moment, again, the doors are open to help those people.
Yes, sir. So once again, thank you, Nico. Thank you, Mario.
Thank you, bro.
Feels good to be back.
It's a blessing, man. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this.
Your itty bitties are gone. Your shakies are gone.
My hands are still sweaty, so no, still sweaty. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna continue doing this live every single Tuesday. And next week Tuesday, we have Shayla Renteria. She is she works at a law firm, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what she does and all that good stuff. And as well, we're going to have Mario here as her co-host / producer. And again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry for the hiccup in the beginning. Just, getting used to the whole YouTube thing. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. Please, do the work. If you're going through stuff, please talk, say things to friends, reach out to the people that, love you. Because I believe those that matter don't mind, and those that mind don't matter. And just remember to, you don't need to, you don't need to have everything figured out. You could take baby steps, and that's one thing that I did, for example, with me and my choice and getting better and stuff. And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. So don't give up. Keep fighting. If you are a faithful person, obviously put God first, and that's something that I've done. And I've seen the change in my life, and it doesn't mean, I'm perfect. I'm very flawed. I still have my issues and stuff, but as long as you try, and you do it with the right intentions, I believe everything will work out for the better at the end. And again, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been Lights, Camera, Accion, Season 2, Episode 1, with my brother Mario and my brother from another mother, Mr. Nicolas Alexis Panart. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Hold on. Nico wants to come back. 1 second. What's up?
You said something really important.
Yeah.
If somebody if you're going through something and maybe your circle around you don't feel comfortable, the phone's open. You can give us a call. You know what I mean? It might be a total stranger to help you, and that's the thing that people don't realize, that maybe you might not want to be judged. Maybe I said something that connected with you. So I'm not saying I'm a savior. But if you do want to talk to somebody that's not in your circle or nothing, you can definitely message me on Instagram or hit up Jona, or Mario, because again, it might be a total stranger, and just having a simple conversation saying that, again, it doesn't even need to be like I need help. It's just like, hey, this is bothering me, and I don't know who to talk about it. So maybe just having a normal conversation might, alleviate the weight off your shoulders.
Amen to that. And just want to add one last thing. If you're in the West End here in Toronto, Sheridan Mall. If you know Sheridan Mall, there's the Black Creek Community Health. I forgot what it's called exactly, but it's the Black Creek Community Health Center. They actually provide free therapy. If you qualify and stuff like that, all you gotta do is walk in and inquire about it. So if you are comfortable with that, and you want to take that step, if you want to ask me more about it, please hit me up at my Instagram. Right.
You'll get used
to this eventually.
Yeah.
All right, people. Take care. God bless you.
Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much again for tuning in. It was awesome to do this with two people that I have a very special place in my heart with. And again, we'll see you guys next week on another episode of Lights, Camera, Accion with myself and Mario. And stay blessed and be good. And if you're not good, call me. But yeah, we'll keep in touch. See you guys next week. Ciao.